Hi Virgo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. And Virgo, this is going to be a general reading for November 2024. And in today's reading, we're going to be doing the Yellow Cardinal Cross. And it's a reading that I've done before on this channel. It's actually one of the readings that I offer for a personal reading. There are about 6 or 7 of them that I offer. And if you're interested in a personal reading, I will leave a description for you in the description box. And also I'll leave a link for you in the description box and also in my comment section. And that'll bring you to my website, Carol Cares. And on the page you'll be linked to will be my Yellow Cardinal page. And it will have a list of all the readings and descriptions of them and the prices. And so I'd be happy to do a personal reading for you if you think that you'd like to do that. So let's get started with your reading. I'm going to be using the Ehrenberg Tarot, which is a new deck that I've just acquired, and I really like it. It's going to be clarified by the Tarot Vintage. So we're going to be starting off with in the first position and second position. First of all, we're going to look at, I'm going to pull one card for the issue that you're dealing with. Could be a struggle, decision you have to make, a pattern maybe that's showing up for you. And then I'm going to quickly ask for a clarifier for it. And it's going to give me more information about the issue you're dealing with. And it could be also telling me what's blocking it, so what's obscuring it. And then in part 3, I'm going to be looking at the conscious influence on your right. And that's going to be what you're consciously aware of regarding this issue. And what sort of we're going to look at what's going on with you. And sometimes it's like because of this issue showing up, we're gonna really highlight what's going on with you consciously. And then this is the most important part, which is number 4, which is the unconscious influence, because it's what you don't see that's influencing this, and it actually has the most impact, and it'll be what's driving this situation. And because there's something here in the unconscious or in your shadow that's coming up for healing. And so we're going to be doing some shadow work here. And when we look at the shadow, we're looking at these things that are coming up for healing that you have repressed when you were younger growing up, because there are parts of you that maybe you didn't like. And sometimes it could be there's gifts in here as well that maybe were shunned when you were younger and you were told, put those away. And you don't know what's sitting in there. You really don't. And so if you're unfamiliar with those terms shadow or shadow work and need some help with that, I've left a really good video for you in my description box below. It's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide for Shadow Work. And it really is a video about facing your own shadow and how to do it. And it's taken from my other YouTube channel called Carol Cares. And on that channel, I have a lot of videos for your mental health challenges and things to help you out with your journey. I'm also going to recommend some videos from that at the end of this reading for you. And they're going to be videos that are really going to be, focusing on what you need to focus on here once I get the guidance from the tarot, and then I'll know what videos to recommend for you. So I think we're going to begin. So let me ask the tarot right now for one card for the issue that Virgo is dealing with this month. And it gave me 2, so I'm going to use one as a knock this off. So we're going to talk about that card in a second, which was interesting. I've never had that happen. So you start off with the 5 of Swords in reverse. And I'm going to use this as the clarifier in what's obscuring it. And it's the World card. Beautiful World card here. And we're going to put that right there. And that's your situation that you're dealing with. That's 1 and 2. Let's look at what you're what the conscious influence is here. What you're aware of. One card for that, please. One card, conscious influence. Tarot is being stubborn. I need one card, please, for Virgo. Conscious, there we go. Two of Pentacles in reverse. And the unconscious influence. What's coming up from the shadow here for healing? Queen of Swords. At the top, what's needed for resolution? One card, please. The Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. And then at the bottom, I'm going to put that sideways because it did come out sideways here. At the bottom, I want some guidance from the tarot, please, for Virgo. Let's have some guidance. One card. That came out beautifully. King of Pentacles. And again, that was sideways here. All right, so let's clarify these. These decks were pre-shuffled before I came on for you. So let's clarify these two cards in the middle, 1 and 2. Issue, and then the clarifier. 1 or 2 cards here. You have the Lover's card in reverse. And the Queen of Wands. Two queens opening up here. Let's clarify conscious influence. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh, that one wanted to come out. Okay, you have the Strength card in reverse. The 9 of Pentacles sideways. And then you have the Devil card. Interesting combination there of cards. Not sure where that's going to go, but we'll see. Let's clarify the Queen of Swords. Unconscious influence. Let's have a couple cards. One more. Ooh. All right. 4 of Wands in reverse. And the 7 of Swords. Mr. Thief. Okay, so Page of Pentacles, the resolution at the top. 2 cards, please. King of Cups and 8 of Pentacles in a sideways kind of position here. And let's clarify the King of Pentacles, which is the guidance from the tarot. A couple cards, please, for Virgo. You have the 3 of Pentacles. And the Knight of Wands. I'll just put that upright. That one's okay to put upright. It was in sideways, but I'll put them upright for now. Okay. So, I just have to check something for you. This 2 of Wands, this card. Yeah, it was upright. It was the one I knocked off, this little Cardinal here I have for you. I wasn't sure if it was in an upright or reversed. So, who is this 2 of Wands right here? What is this card here? This is your overriding energy for this reading. And in January 2024, I did your yearly reading for you, Virgo, and it's in my description box if you want to look at it. And I pulled out 12 cards. And for November, I pulled out the 2 of Wands. And so this is going to be your overriding energy. And the 2 of Wands, Wands talks about, you know, taking our life into a new direction, following our purpose. Wands struggle through, the suit of Wands are always in struggle because they want movement. They want to go forward. They want to move toward your authentic self and who you are, what your next move's supposed to be. And it's always like a creative move. When I say creative, I mean like you're doing something that is really different for yourself you've never done before. Maybe something people will go look at and go, what the heck is that person doing? And so you have the 2, it's the beginning. You're just the beginning of the suit of Wands. And so this is the point where you're getting a nudge. where you're feeling something. And I always call that sort of like an intuitive nudge. And the intuitive nudge is never desperate. It's not strong. It's like a soft whisper that comes and then it goes and it comes and then it goes. And it just keeps on, it won't go away. And so it's like a gut feeling. It's this gut feeling that there's something there for you out there. Movement. I don't know. We'll see what this movement is, but it's here. You know, he's got this world in his hand and he's looking and he's going, there's something out there for me. That's where you are this month. Feeling the nudge. Feeling the nudge. I like that. Let me see. I'm going to write feeling the nudge and we'll see if that is the true title for this reading. I don't know. So we'll see. Okay. So, these are the two cards that came out for you at the beginning. So the issue that you're dealing with now is the Five of Swords in reverse. So the Five of Swords in an upright position. This is the card that really, I associate as the bullying card. And it's that, swords is all about our mental energy, and swords are all about those things that we tell ourselves. And I mean, you could really be bullying yourself when you start to talk badly about yourself to yourself, But it's that card of, it's a shame card for me. It's the stuff that people, gave us that was not true and told us that was false. And shame is an emotion that everyone has, but nobody really talks about. It's not like we go around and say, I got shame, I'm feeling shitty, because that's what shame feels like. It feels shitty. It's something that's given to us from other people that have it, from our caretakers when we were younger. It's not something we're born with. It's not something we're born with. And so I can see here that you're starting out. It's in reverse here, and so it's a definitely an emotion of yours that is blocked, and in all of us, most of us, it is blocked because we don't want to deal with shame. It's shitty, and so you start off with that right in the middle, which is going to be, and it's interesting because your overriding energy is the Two of Wands, where you're feeling a nudge to do something. But if you're sitting with this shame, you're going to feel unworthy. And there's a part of you that's not going to want to go towards that, whatever it is, because you feel unworthy. And so right away, this is the kind of the center of this whole reading here, this shame that you need to feel and you need to heal. And we're going to see if it comes up in your shadow. And then you have the World card here, which kind of was, in between being reversed and upright. So the World card is a card that speaks about bringing things to a close. It's a World card. The World card speaks about endings, because when you have an ending, we all have endings in our life in different ways, especially with this healing journey. We can be working on something and then we finally get through it, and then there's an ending here. So I think the universe here, and the reason why it was kind of in a sideways position, this card, was because there needs to be an ending and a closure to the shame that you've been carrying around for too long now, that people gave you when you were younger. And it's time now to, close this off. Bring an ending to this. And then you get this two cards after it, which are beautiful cards for you to get. You get the Lover's card, and then you get the Queen of Wands, and they almost go together here. So I'm going to explain what the Lover's card is and see why you got the Queen of Wands. So the Lover's card, this is was in reverse, I think. I'm not sure, but I have it in reverse in my hand. So I guess, in a reverse position, it's something that you're not aware of, or maybe that you need to look at. So let's look at what it means in an upright position. The Lover's card, first of all, is the number 6. So in my deck, all the 6s, even the minor arcana and the major arcana. This is from the major arcana. They all have a duality to them. And so in this particular incident in this card, your duality is there's two sides to this Lover's card here. You have these two individuals that are naked and vulnerable. These are the two parts of us that we really need to know about, and not all of us will know about these two parts. And you have this masculine figure that's looking straight ahead. And he's just looking out. He just sees, he's focused on what he sees, and that's the masculine side of us. And then you have the feminine side of us who's looking up towards the divine, who gets her knowledge, this part of us, this feminine side, from a higher source, God, creator, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it. I call it the universe just to be universal. And those are the two parts of us. And this is where our intuition comes from, is through our feminine side. It's one of the qualities of our feminine side. And our feminine side is very much repressed in us because we don't want to go into our body. Because in order to access these qualities, these feminine qualities, we need to be in our body. Because the feminine part of us is our body. The feminine part loves the body. And so this Lover's card comes out when it's like, you need to be aware that you have these two sides. And because it's in reverse here, so that tells me that there's an awareness for you. And that's going to help you out when you get for your shame to heal that. And then right after the Lover's card comes the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. And the Queen is our feminine side in the deck. And then we have the masculine side, which is our King. And the King is going to come up for you. And the King is our ego self. I won't talk about the masculine King because it's going to come up, but I'll talk about the Queen right now. And she's that side of us. So right now you have this Lovers in reverse, and here's your masculine ego self, and he's coming up, and this is what most of us live by. And here's the Queen right here, the other part of this Lovers card. She's right behind it for you. And she's the Queen of the Wands. She knows. She has the wand in her hand, and she knows the wand is all about creativity. And creativity in a sense of doing something for yourself that is something that you've never done before. And it could be just a new way that you want to lead your life. And, people might look at you and go, oh, what's that person doing? Or look at her, look at him, look at them. What are they doing? Something that's different. And, you've always got those haters or whatever you want to call them out there that are going to point fingers at you because, they're really intimidated or don't want to deal with their own stuff. But, it's very interesting that you get her because you've got this new direction that you're sensing and nudging that you need. And, maybe it's just a nudge. It could be just a nudge to get back in your body. A nudge to, what? It's time. Because there may be a new direction out there for you. But you've got to kill this shame. And the way that this journey works, this healing journey, is that when we want to take our life in this new direction, and we're going to feel the block from the ego self will definitely come out and block you. And you've got to get back into your body, and you got to feel these emotions first. And it's like a hurdle that you get over, and you go, okay, I've dealt with the shame, and now I'll get, the clarity will come through for you. The universe is beautiful, and that's what it offers you. So let's look, that's where you're sitting right now, is this shame and this, the universe wanting some closure, wanting you to get back in your body, to bring you into this new direction here. This Two of Wands here. And so what are you aware of? What's going on? What's the conscious influence here? Because of what's going on here. So, a lot of times when you're feeling this nudge, it's a little bit uncomfortable. And so here's the Two of Pentacles in reverse. In an upright position, the Two of Pentacles speaks about this individual that's trying to juggle these two pentacles on his nose. And, just think about his focus on, he's been spending lots of hours trying to see if he can do it. And, it's a lot of distraction for him. And so when we feel this nudge coming up, and this shame, and it's just all yucky, it feels uncomfortable, we don't know what to do with it. And so we find a way here of distracting ourselves. We can have lots of distractions here. And this is in reverse here, because the universe says, there's a real need for you. And I know it's kind of like a resistance on your part to denial of realizing that you're distracting yourself. And I mean, we do really know when we kind of know how we distract ourselves. There's different things we can do to do it. We can be really busy, and this is what this card speaks about, is the multitasking and how we can just really, spend our time distracting from what we really need to do, which is go inwards and face what we need to face, right? And so this is where I see you right now. This is what you're doing. And then we got this Strength card coming in here, and you're not feeling, and that's probably why you're distracting yourself. The Strength card comes in and it's in reverse. So, you know, you're not feeling it. You're in denial about it. But what is a Strength card? The Strength card, it comes in and it says, here's this, you know, from the universe. It's a universal force here. It's saying, you know, you have the strength to go inwards. You have the strength to open up that Pandora's box, that lion's mouth right here, and allow some of these feelings to come up and come forward. You know, you have the strength to go inwards. You have the strength to go and ground yourself and get into your body. And then these emotions are going to come up for you to feel, but you don't think you do. You have the strength, but you're not feeling the strength to do it. And here's this 9 of Cups individual. And here's this individual that he's not at the 10. He's not at the full range of emotions of cups. He has all these emotions lined up, all these cups of emotions lined up. He's quite happy. He's quite content. It's like, nope, I'm done. Don't need any more emotions. Don't need to feel those anymore. I've already done my feeling. I've already done my healing. Maybe that's where you're sitting right now. I call this individual the spiritual bypasser, or we can call him the spiritual shadow worker, or the shadow bypasser. We're going to call him the shadow bypasser. It means he's bypassing his shadow. He likes to say, when people go around and tell people, I'm done all my healing, I'm not healing anymore, been there, done that. Or there's people that can say, you know, and maybe this is you, I'm not looking at my past anymore. I'm just going to live for the present. I'm done with my past. Just forget about what happened. Well, unfortunately, if you forget about it, it's going to show up. It's coming up from your shadow. It's going to show up in all your relationships. If you want to see where your shadow is going to show up, it's going to be in all your relationships. And so this is where you're sitting right now. It's kind of like you're distracting yourself, and you've kind of went, nah, done with emotions, done with healing, don't want to do it, don't want to touch the shame that needs to be healed, or any other emotions that want to be healed. And then the Devil card comes out. And this is really explaining how, you know, you're distracting yourself. And also what you're doing is the devil talks about those things that keep us chained. These are the things that and I often refer to this as my addictions, because you know that, and everybody knows that. I can sit here and list so many addictions. We can find, our ego self can hook you up with an addiction like that. You drop one and you'll get another one, right? I've been through, my main addiction in my life has been my eating. I've fought with my overeating all my life. And, you know, sometimes alcohol comes in there when, you know, I think I need it, or, you know, so you can be cross addicted for sure, where you have a few of them. You can do binge watching on Netflix. That's not been mine. But I know that's a lot of people's. There's all kinds of addictions. Scrolling on your phone is definitely one of mine. And I know when I'm scrolling, it's like, yep, I'm numbing out. And addictions are just to help us numb out the pain. And I'm not here to at all tell you, you know, you got to drop your addiction. That's not my place to do it. But this card says, okay, let's bring awareness to, what are you using? Why are you using these addictions? What are the addictions, and why are you using them? What are you numbing out on? You know, what, they're just ways that we hold off the pain. Hold it off for now. And I think there's some awareness that needs to be brought to that. You know, that's where you're sitting with right now. Now, what's coming up in your shadow, which is going to be having the most impact on this issue right now, because it needs healing. So you start off with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen, again, like I said, is that feminine aspect to herself. And that's coming out to haunt you right now. It's like, you need to get back in your body. Because the sword talks about our mental thoughts, these things that we tell ourselves. Well, this is the Queen. When you get back in your body, she's going to cut through. She's sitting right here in the front of your shadow. She's the one that's going to cut through the bullshit of what people told you who you are. She has the sword of authenticity and your truth that's sitting right in your shadow, but she's repressed right now. She's blocked because she's in your shadow. And so you have blocked that feminine side of you. And we've already established that with the Lover's card being in reverse right now. And yet she's wanting to come out. So I'm going to say you're probably sitting with some real hopelessness. You've got this shame, and because when this queen sits in your shadow and she's repressed, she feels really hopeless because she's trying to get your attention. She wants you to get back in your body, and she might feel some anger, really pissed off at these people that told you these things about yourself that are not true. And so you're carrying them around right now, this bunch of shame that you carry on your shoulders that just makes you feel so hopeless and unworthy. And so and then then you have this Four of Wands card comes up right behind it. And the Four of Wands is a card in an upright position that speaks about these individuals. Like, so you have the Two of Wands right here, which is that nudge, that intuitive nudge that we get. That's your overriding energy. And then you get the Three of Wands where you make a plan, where you're ready to do it. And then you get the Four sitting in your shadow right here. This is the direction. This is the direction. This is like going, finally taking that step into where you were supposed to go. But it's in reverse here. And so I can see here that there was, this. She's your truth. She knows who you are. She would have known what direction you were supposed to go into. And it was blocked here because people told you things about yourself that weren't true. The Seven of Swords, there's these swords, a sword energy. These are all the things that people told you about yourself, especially if you're dealing with shame. They can be things like, and it would have blocked where you were supposed to go. You can't do this. You're not able to do this. Who do you think you are? You're unworthy. You're a piece of crap. All those things that you're telling yourself right now, these shameful messages, here they are right here. People told them to you. And you've got some healing here to do of what people told you about yourself. And then you buried your truth. You buried your authentic self right here. She holds your authentic self here. And so I'm going to give you, before I forget, I'm going to give you some writing prompts at the end for shame. And I'm going to give you a shame playlist already. And I already know that I need to give you a grounding playlist. Because it's very important that the two tools that I use in my own healing journey from my own complex PTSD that I have, that I didn't know I had when I got into therapy 7.5 years ago. My two tools that I use are grounding, getting back into my body, and getting out of my head. So I know how to ground my mind, and then I know how to ground my body. And then I use journaling, and I journal from when I start to ground myself. I journal from those feelings that are coming up. I give them a voice. Those are our inner parts that are talking to us. That, it would have been that part of you that feels so hopeless. I also have videos on depression on my other Carol Cares site, and if you go to that site, you'll find some videos on depression and how to ground from depression if that's what you're feeling. But the main feeling of shame, and behind your depression is going to be shame for sure, that hopeless feeling, and so they're all kind of intertwined. Our depression often, is like a defense against some of these emotions like shame that's sitting behind it. And because we get hopeless, we feel like we're unworthy, but we also feel hopeless, and so those two emotions will come up together often. And so what's the resolution here from the tarot? And you start off with the Page of Pentacles, and this is the first page, I believe, that is showing up. So what is a page? And it was in sideways position here. page is, I have 4 of them in the deck, and 1 for each suit, and they're my inner children. And I've been on this journey, healing journey, long enough to know that we have more than one inner child. And our inner children carry our memories, carry our big emotions that we couldn't handle. They're parts of us, inside of us. And mainstream psychology likes to say we just have one, but we have more than one. And this particular page is the Page of Pentacles. And they're the younger inner child of us that carries the pentacle. Pentacle is our body and everything to do with our body. Grounding. It has to do with our sense of self-worth, and material world. It's also our workspace, our health. But in this particular case, this page, this inner part of us knew. They're like 4, 5, 6 years old. It's the part of us that knew. We're very much into. They're the part of us that really knew that. Sorry, it's the part of us that was very grounded. As a child, when you were 4, 5, 6 years old, you were very grounded. You knew who you were. And you would express that all the time when you're a young child, you know. But what happens is when we grow up and when you get these people that tell you, the 7 of Swords card right here that came out for you, right here in your shadow. When we're told as a younger child, when people spew out all these things about us and we start to collect them in our life, we become ungrounded. Because now we're finding out that we're not who we thought we were, and we don't feel comfortable in our own skin anymore to be in our body. And so we end up going up in our heads. And that's where we meet the ego self when we're younger. The ego self is this part of us, this king that comes up next. And they're the part of us, and he's the King of Cups here. He's the part of us, that's our masculine side. We talked about our feminine quite a bit. And this is the ego self card. The king is our ego self. And it's the part that will come out and protect you when you're younger. And it will keep you up in your head because it does not want you to go into your body. It's the ego self is our head, where we spin in our head and say all these, and spin around and say all these things that you were told when you were younger. And it's petrified of the cup here, the emotion. It wants nothing to do with emotions. It will block you. It'll keep you up in your head, and it'll block you from going into your body, where you have the queen side of you, where you have all these emotions. You feel your emotions, and you're grounded, and you can take your life into creative direction, and you know your authenticity, and you know who you are. It wants nothing to do with that. And so it's a part that your ego self is a part that was created when you were younger to protect you, and it continues to do that when you're older because it only lives in the past. That's all it knows. And so the universe wants you to become aware that you have this ego self that's blocking this inner child here. You have an inner child that needs healing. You have an inner child, this self-worth, and that's why you have this shame that's coming out, because it needs healing. And here's the 8 of Pentacles sideways. The 8 of Pentacles talks about, and the Pentacles is coming out here, usually talks about the workspace, you know, someone that is passionate about doing something, passionate about doing their work and doing something they like to do. I think there's something here for you. This 2 of Wands here, like the universe is wanting to pull you into this new direction. It wants to bring you to a place where you're passionate, bringing back some passion in your life. Maybe, you know, I'm wondering if you're feeling very hopeless and you're not feeling any passion in your life, you know, when you're carrying all this shame and this unworthiness. Boy, it's hard to find some passion in there, let me tell you. And so what do you have to do here? What's the Tarot's advice here for you? Where do you start? Well, you start off with this King of Pentacles. And here's the ego side of you. This time it's the pentacle part of you. It's the one that, you know, the self-worth part of you. The one that's going to, you know, want you to stay away from that shame. And so you have to be aware that you are up in your head blocked right now. And so you need to learn how to deal with this part of you, this ego self that keeps telling you that you are a piece of crap, that keeps repeating these still in your head, that keeps blocking all of this. And your Three of Pentacles comes out next. And the Three of Pentacles is always a creative card. It's a co-creative card where you're working with people. And when it comes out for me in this my readings, it really is a card that says, you know, maybe it's time to get back into therapy. Maybe you've had therapy before. Maybe you're seeing someone and it's not really working out for you. And, you know, I'm wondering if I know that right here you've had this Nine of Cups with this person blocking everything and not wanting to deal with their stuff and saying, you know, and we talked about that being the spiritual or the shadow bypasser, where it's like, I'm not dealing with this stuff anymore. I don't want to. And often, you know, I've gone through my whole life of going in and out of therapy and said, I'm done with it. I don't want it. And so I didn't do it for a while. And then something came up in my life and it was like, well, I need it now. And this is, you know, kind of the therapy card where it says, you know, maybe it's time to get some help. Maybe it's time to get some help with this unworthiness and this shame. And, you know, maybe some help to ground into your body. I'll give you some videos, but I think it's time now where, you know, let's get back into our body here. You've got this freedom fighter coming out, this knight. My knights in my deck, I call them my freedom fighters. And this is the adolescent part of you. The page is the younger part of you, the inner child. And this is the other part of you. We all have this part that wants freedom to be themselves. This particular knight is the one with the wand. There is a part of you that is pulling you in a new direction with the wand. Remember, the wand is the creative wands, taking you into a new direction for you. And there's a part of you that this was turned upside down here. The direction you were supposed to go in was turned upside down here when you were younger, because you were told things about yourself that weren't true. And so, are you feeling the nudge? That was the title that I put here. Are you feeling the nudge with this Two of Wands? Yeah, you are. This knight is pulling you. There's some freedom here. There's a part of you that wants to be free, man. We all do, right? And it's pulling at you. But you need to get at this shame. So, awesome reading for you, Virgo. I didn't know where it was going to go, but beautiful reading for you. And I want you to have compassion for yourself, Virgo, for what you're working through. This is the most difficult journey in your life. I know it. I've wanted to quit many times, and I tell my therapist that every time I want to quit this fucking journey. I'm tired of it. It's too hard. But you know what? It's the most important journey of your life. And so you're on it, and have compassion for yourself. Give yourself a big hug. There's some stuff you got to work through here, but I know you can do it. So I'll see you in a couple weeks, Virgo. Take care. Bye-bye.